I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time. In fact, I did film a segment, but I was editing and didn't really like it because it didn't feel as fulfilling and not as clear. So I filmed it all over again. And of course, the start of the morning, the pets are meowing and the dog's barking and the mail lady's freaking them out. There's all these little things interrupting me, but I finally got through it. So I really hope this video helps you. And if you're new to candle making, I think this is a great start to find some resources, find other brands of fragrance oils you may not have heard of yet. I might list some things you haven't thought of yet, and I hope this is super helpful for you. I know what it's like starting out because it is not fun not knowing where to start, not sure what sources to trust. And if you're tenured and you've been making candles as long as I have, since 2014, maybe you're just, watching for some inspiration. I think I might provide some companies or resources you haven't heard of yet. But if you're just hanging out and just want to learn some different things and how I go about my candle making, stick around, save this video, grab your favorite beverage. I have my coffee here and a pen and paper, and let's get started. So as you know, I make my own concrete jars, and when I'm not making my own concrete jars, I do regular glass jars. And quick note, I will make a video detailing this later. But for the sake of this video, let's focus on regular glass jars. And places where you can get the glass jar, Makesy with the aura vessel. But other than that, SKS bottle, specialty bottle, the jar store, CandleScience. Okay, so we have the wicks. We have the wooden one I like to get from Makesy. And we have a cotton wick I like to get from CandleScience. And CandleScience has cotton wicks that already come pre-tabbed, so it has the metal like that. And Makesy has the wooden wicks, and it has the fire crackling sound, or with the cotton, you just have the classic. Both of them are great. I do like these with my concrete jars because they look really beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, and I love the crackling sound that it makes. But if I wanted a regular glass jar, I use cotton sometimes. And CandleScience does have this tool, and I'll put it on the screen, that helps you figure out the wick you want for your candle. So all you have to do is plug in your wax and the diameter of your jar. So if you're using soy, select soy, and you do the measurements of your diameter. So get your ruler out, plug that in, and it will then bring a bunch of options of wicks that work for you. Obviously, you test. You always have to test. If you're going to start a candle business, test. This is a fire hazard, and you don't want to be liable. You don't want to purposely make something wrong because someone told you to do something. Use the calculator and test. It's very important. I've been doing this since 2014, and I still test because you never know. This is a serious thing. It's an open flame, so you want to do it right. CandleScience also has a video called How to Choose the Right Wick Size. I'll put a screenshot up here. You should check out their YouTube channel and their website. So many formulas you can plug in. So the wick clip itself, for those who want to use the wooden wick, you can get these from Bulk Apothecary, Northwood Candle and Craft, and Makesy, or Amazon. I prefer Amazon. I know people hate them. I get it. But one, I get a lot for my money. And the one on Makesy is it's not my favorite. It's a bit too tight. And my wooden wicks, it takes a bit of time to, I don't know, just not my preference. But for these, it's just so easy. Like, I can just stick them so fast, and it just works for me. So that's preference, but those are the options for the clips. And of course, there is the thing called the wick bar. That is what you use to hold the candle so that it's centered. Hi, Loki. Hi, baby. Hold on. That is what you use to center the cotton wick. For wooden wick, I don't really need that because the wick stands firm on its own. But for cotton, you need a wick bar, and that is on the screen, of course. Next, the stickers. I love the stickers. I don't do glue. It's not my preference, but the stickers I love. It works. My wicks stick on here fine. For example, this is how I prepped them. Can't do this with glue. Like, I love the act of putting it on the wicks and then putting it on the sticker paper. I think it's really fun. So this is just how that looks. And I do this when I'm making big batches. I just have it done. I already have wicks in the clip prepped aside. So all I gotta do is put it on the sticker. It's fun. Maybe that's why I do it. So it's preference. And you can get the wick sticker paper from CandleScience, Amazon, or any local craft store. They're getting popular, so it's very easy to find them. So next we have the wick centering tool, and this is by Nordon Candle Supply. It looks like this. This is the one for the cotton, and they're kind of loud. And this is the one for the wooden wick. It looks complicated, but I'm going to quickly demonstrate how you use it. So for cotton, you want to make sure the jar goes under here. And what I love about Nordon Candle Supply, if you go to the website, you can select where you get the jars from. And that's another little tip for you. If you're not sure where to get candle jars, check out Nordon Candle Supply, because when you click the items of where the jar is from, there's hundreds of options. So check that out as well. Just a little fun tip for you. So this is the jar. And this is the hole you put the wick in. So I'm going to show you. You do this. You push it in, make sure the sticker's on there. And you do it like this. And this is, for example, this one fits my concrete vessels with cotton. But for the sake of example, here's a glass jar. You make sure it's over the ridge like so. And you push down. Push down like that. Hold it. And there you go. That's how you use the wick centering tool. Okay, so for wax, I use soy. I love soy wax, and I get these from CandleScience. Makesy also has it, and I'll list a bunch of other options where you can get soy wax. I do feel if you're going to start a candle business, test different waxes out. I love soy. People hate on it, but I love it. I've been using this since day one when I learned, and I just decided to stick with it. I know there's apricot out there, coconut, beeswax, but I just love soy. I think it's beautiful. I love the finish, and I know it so well. I've been using it since 2014, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I have mixed my wax before with coconut. I think coconut and soy work really well together, but I've never done coconut only. That is the wax that I use. So, and for soy wax, I heat up to 185 degrees. When I pour into my jars or my concrete vessel or my glass, it's always under 120 degrees. I set a timer in my kitchen each time. It is so easy to forget. If I don't set a timer, I forget I'm making candles. That is about 35 to 40 minutes to pour at the temperature that I'm comfortable with. Yes, that's a long time, but if you want to pour cool, you set a timer, and it's usually about that long for it to get down to 120 or under. And that is my go-to. It has not failed me, so I highly recommend that. So I wanted to provide fragrance oil companies that I really love and that I recommend you check out in no particular order: Vine Vita, Brambleberry, Dupe, Black Tie Barn, Hive and Honey, Minarest Fragrance Co., and of course CandleScience. There's so many more out there, and I highly recommend, as a tip, check out like the 5th page, check out the 10th page of fragrance oils and go crazy. It is really nice to set yourself apart. You know, this industry is super saturated, and you don't want to be at a market and someone comes up to your table and they're like, oh, I just smelled this exact same thing down the way. You know, do what you can to stand out with all these resources. Makesy has a fragrance calculator that I think you'd benefit, and I'll have this on the screen for you as well. What I love about this calculator is all you gotta do is plug in your numbers. So how many units are you making? Let's say we are making 6 candles. What size? 8 ounces. Those are my sizes, but you can select grams or millimeters. And then what percentage you want. I never go over 10. I always stay under 10 for fragrance oils. So you could do 8, 9, or 10. Let's go with 8. And you calculate. And this is the number of fragrance oil you use for 6 jars. And again, even though there's this calculator, still do your testing so that you have an idea of how much you want to use. I really appreciate that these companies have calculators and formula help, because I am not a math person and I wish I used these back when I started making candles. It's just so much easier, and you want to feel confident in your candle making. You don't want to just only do what someone tells you to. You want to have your own numbers, and I highly recommend getting a notebook, writing this down, because I swear to God, 44.16 ounces, I would forget that. So write everything down. I have a sheet, I like to call it, next to my warmer, and it has all my measurements. Write it all down so you don't have to think. You don't have time. All you gotta do is remember it, put the amount that you need, and you're done. So of course, next, after the fragrance oil, you need your pancake batter and you need your pitcher. I love this pitcher. You get this from CandleScience or Amazon, and I prefer the silver because I need to see if there's dust in my pitcher. There are the cute aesthetic black ones, but if there's something like a speck, a lint, hell, even a bug, and I can't see, I don't really like that. So I stick with the classic pitchers. I need to see my wax. I stir for 2 minutes and all is good. The pancake batter, which I've gone over in a couple of videos prior to this, I love it because it helps me not spill on the outside of my jar. It's precision. You just pour it right in. I can pour with a pitcher, but I always spill. So the pancake batter really helps with that. Of course, you need your digital scale. You can get these from your local grocery store, Amazon. You need a scale when making candles. You don't want to guess. You don't want to guesstimate. Like, that's the worst feeling. A scale is your best friend when making candles. It's obvious, but something I have to share. Another tool you need after the scale is the thermometer, so you can gauge the temperature. Yes, I use a warmer, and we're going to go over that because you need to know the degrees of the wax. When are you pouring? What temperature is it at? You do not want to guess this because you don't want to pour too hot. So that's the best tool. You get that from your local grocery store, and very, very easy. It's like a kitchen appliance. There's a lot of appliances for the kitchen that goes very well with candles. I think that's kind of cool. So this is my To-Alto melter, and I know there's wax on it. I know it's not gorgeous looking, but this is realistic. I've been making hundreds of candles because I have a market coming up, but I wanted to demonstrate how easy it is to use this. You literally turn it on, and you have heating, insulation, and standby. That's when it's ready. And on this side is the temperature. So I pour to 185, and I love that they have it go up to 212. And obviously you find the degrees that works for your wax. I know it works for mine. So this is this knob, the off and on. You want to make sure this is off. You do not want this turned on because when the wax melts, it spills everywhere. And I've seen that happen. It has not happened to me yet, but you want to make sure this is off. And then this is the lid. Pretty self-explanatory. And then you just put your wax in. I always fill it to the top because, you know, that's kind of how I start because it melts down. And just because you put wax till the top, it doesn't mean the wax is going to be that. It melts down. So it's not going to be full at the top the entire time. And then you put your lid on it. Always make sure this is closed all the way. And then I let that set and do its thing. It's not ready yet, so I always come back and I use my thermometer and I always check the temperature. Even though I set it to 185, I always check. You never know. So use your tools, and if it's 185, it's 190, I start the pour because the minute wax comes out of there, it's going to start cooling down naturally. So 185, 190, and I have my fragrance oil already. Do this first on your scale. Pour that in quick. Stir for about 2 minutes. Sometimes I stir for 3 minutes. And that's how I use the warmer. And I love this so much. Like the To-Alto folks, they are really kind and they're just great business people. If you have any questions, they always help out. I can't say enough. Like, I love, love, love. I do have an affiliate link. No, I'm not sponsored, but I do believe in them. I paid for this myself. I actually plan to get one of their bigger warmers. I personally just love this one. It's just so easy. The Digiboil, I think it's great. I just think it's too much for me. But I love the simplicity of the To-Alto warmer. So, or melter, whatever you call it. This is my preference. I can't speak highly enough about them. So check them out. No math, no extra buttons, just on, off, turn. So check it out. It's worth it. Okay, so for dust covers, I use the small ones from Makesy and I use these craft ones from Amazon. And I have special ones that are gone because I sold the candles from Norman Printery. They are a beautiful company. They do such a great job for candle companies like dust covers and prints, all that good stuff. A bit pricey. I do want to let you know it was close to like over 100 for like 100 dust covers. I don't like that. So don't judge me, but there's a reason why I use these. I don't like spending an arm and a leg for something that little, but they do a phenomenal job. I think they're professionals and their customer service is great, very clear, very concise, clear templates, all that good stuff. So if you do want to dabble and try something fancy, check them out. So of course, after you make the candle, you do need a heat gun. So when I first started, I didn't really understand it. I thought it was embarrassing or that I made the candle wrong because I needed a heat gun. But actually, it's your friend. It helps with the sinkholes. It helps even out the wax if you have bumps or little things, air pockets, all that good stuff. Get a heat gun. You can get this from your local grocery store or Amazon. And this is your friend. It is okay to use a heat gun. There's no shame in it. I also love my warning labels. They look like this. And then here are the small ones. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry if it's like not clear. And I always put these at the bottom of my jars. So they look like that. And then I add my bumpers. And then even the glass ones, I obviously put it at the bottom. Always. You want to put these everywhere. People don't read, but you need to do it legally if you're going to make candles. And I get these from Amazon. I also get them from Etsy. There are makers out there who make them. And you can also customize your own in Canva and have them printed. So many ways, so many ways. You can DIY it or you can hire a professional. So of course I wanted to share a brand mastery list so you can check out in your free time, and they have it all from wicks to waxes to fragrance oils, and in no particular order. Check out Black Tie Barn, CandleScience, Makesy, Lone Star Candle, Midwest Fragrance Co., Brambleberry, and Boca Apothecary, California Candle Supply. These are amazing, and I'm going to have them listed. If there's any I missed, feel free to add in the comments, so share with one another and check them out. There's a lot of great stuff out there. Hi, baby. Loki wants a little attention. So in this video, I of course shared my favorites, but check these out. View all their pages, check out their calculators. They're super helpful. I feel like when you're a new candle maker, it can be overwhelming, but find different ones you like. Each brand that I talked about in this video has their own style, their own cool scents, their own fun titles, and great newsletters. Like, really have fun with it. Take your time. Write down your notes, write down your formulas. If there's anything you take away from this, please take note. Take notes, get a journal, as I mentioned, because it's just so easy to forget certain things, and especially when it comes to math formulas for your candles and your wicks and your fragrance oils. So check those out. I hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited for the next few videos I do. The Portland night market is finally coming up, so I'm pretty sure my next video is going to be about that. And then we'll go over how to make these. I know folks really want to know. And yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for watching. See you around.